Archangel Michael says, "The wind moves gently tonight, the way it brushes through the trees like the whisper of someone long gone yet never truly absent." In moments like these, heaven feels closer than we think, as though the veil between this life and the one beyond quietly parts for a heartbeat. And when the heart stirs, and the soul leans in to listen, sometimes, just sometimes, the ones who loved us the most from the other side have something left to say, something that brings peace, comfort, and hope. Tonight, Archangel Michael speaks not with the voice of thunder or fire, but with the still, soft breath of God's love. Type 999 if you trust Jesus. You were meant to see this now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but in this exact moment. Heaven does not operate in chance, but in divine purpose. And in this divine purpose, a hand has reached across eternity to rest gently on your shoulder, not to startle you or bring fear, but to awaken something sacred that has long been buried beneath the weight of sorrow and time. This message is not just a call, it is a reunion of the heart, a reminder that God's love is so wide, so deep, and so enduring that not even death can break the ties that bind us together. There is someone who walked ahead of you into that golden shore, someone whose absence carved a space in your life that no earthly comfort could fully fill. That person, who you still think about in the quiet moments, who visits your dreams with a familiar smile, who left behind pieces of themselves in your laughter and your tears, has not vanished into silence. No soul ever disappears in God's kingdom. The love you once shared remains alive, carried by grace, wrapped in light, and guarded by angels. And so, you are here now, reading these words, not because of coincidence, but because heaven has drawn you near for a holy reason. Archangel Michael has stirred the heavens to deliver a message meant to soothe your aching heart and awaken the truth that lives inside your spirit. You are not alone, and you have never been forgotten. God's eyes have never left you. His hand has never stopped holding you, even when you couldn't feel it. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you are grateful for God's mercy. In the gentle silence between breaths, when the world falls away and only your soul remains present, listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. Listen to the sound of healing, of restoration, of love calling you home again, not to a place, but to a promise. This promise, given by Christ Himself, is that love never dies, that the bonds of the Spirit are eternal, and that no sorrow lasts forever. In God, all things are made whole, and every tear that fell in the dark has been counted and held in the palm of His hand. What if you discovered a tiny, walnut-sized brain region holds the secret to endless wealth and success? Recently uncovered by groundbreaking research and once buried in classified files, this frequency is now available to anyone ready to listen. Imagine replacing worry and struggle with a life of financial ease and freedom. Interested? Click the link in video description and comments below to unleash this hidden brainwave and start attracting wealth right now. You have been guided to this message for a reason, and if you turn away, the chance may not return. This is your time to step in. The one who has passed on, this precious soul who once shared your table, your laughter, your grief, now watches from a place where there is no more pain, no more suffering, only light. Their message is simple, but it carries the weight of eternity. They are at peace, they are with God, and they want you to feel that peace too. They are not asking you to forget or move on, but to carry their love forward with you, to let it shape your kindness, your prayers, your strength. And though it may not feel like it yet, healing is coming. Through the gentle work of God's Spirit and the comforting guidance of the angels, every wound will one day become a place where light shines through. Even the most painful loss is not the end, but a doorway. It is where human sorrow meets divine hope, where death is swallowed by life, and where the arms of Christ open wide to receive both the grieving and the gone. Type 777 if you walk by faith. This message is a beginning. It is a thread of gold being woven into the fabric of your days, a quiet invitation to trust again, to believe again, and to let God's love breathe life into the corners of your soul that you thought would always remain hollow. You were not meant to carry this grief alone. You were meant to bring it to Jesus, to lay it gently at His feet, and to let Him turn it into something beautiful, something eternal. Grief has its own language, one that the world often fails to understand. It doesn't speak in loud cries or perfect words. It speaks in quiet mornings when everything feels too quiet, in familiar songs that bring a rush of emotion, in dreams that feel more real than waking life. And it speaks in moments like this, when something inside you whispers, "There's more than what I see, more than what I've lost, more than the pain I carry." That more is God's love. It's the love that formed you before you were even born, the love that sent Jesus to walk among us, the love that held your loved one close as they took their last breath, and the love that holds you now as you try to keep going. This love doesn't fade with time, and it doesn't vanish when people pass away. It's constant, like the gentle tide that touches the shore again and again, no matter how many times it's pulled away. The one you miss so much, the one who left a hole in your life so big it sometimes feels like you'll fall right through it, they still love you. That love didn't stop. It didn't break. It didn't forget. It crossed through the barrier between this world and the next, and now it speaks to you not with sound, but with the deep warmth that floods your heart when you think of them. That warmth is not your imagination, it's a glimpse of heaven brushing against your soul. You may have been carrying silent guilt, wondering if you said enough, did enough, showed enough love before they passed. But hear this clearly, they know. They see. And from where they stand now, held in God's eternal peace, they carry no anger, no sadness, no disappointment. They carry only love, only grace, and only a desire for your healing. If you could hear their voice, it would not be filled with regret. It would be filled with the same warmth that once filled your home, now made perfect by the presence of God. They are asking you to remember the best of them, not just the last days, not the hospital beds, not the parting moments, but the laughter, the stories, the small things that made them who they were. The smell of their cooking, the way they smiled when you walked into the room, the sound of their voice when they called your name, these memories are holy. They are not just shadows of the past. They are gifts from heaven meant to carry you through the sorrow and into the light. There is healing waiting for you, even if you're not ready for it yet. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, and it doesn't mean moving on as if nothing happened. Healing means inviting God into the broken places. It means saying, "Lord, I don't know how to fix this, but I trust that you do." And as you open that space in your heart, you will begin to feel it, first like a whisper, then like a soft rain, and finally like the rising sun after a long night. Type 333 to welcome blessings. Jesus knows your pain. He walked this earth with a heart wide open to love and loss. He wept at tombs. He held grieving mothers. He reached out to the hurting, the lost, the lonely, and the forgotten. And He is doing the same for you now. You are not invisible in your sorrow. You are seen. You are loved. And you are being gently led toward peace that surpasses all understanding. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian of this moment, not to demand or command, but to remind you that heaven sees you, that this moment was written for your comfort, and that someone who loves you dearly from beyond has been calling out in the quiet, hoping you would hear. That call has been heard, and the answer is this deep, sacred love that reaches across eternity to say, you are not alone. What if I told you financial freedom is not about working harder, but activating a dormant brain signal designed to draw abundance directly to you? Neuroscience proves this sound wave unlocks prosperity faster than any method known before. From unexpected cash to life-changing success, it's already helping thousands. Imagine looking back tomorrow wishing you had acted today. Do not let regret replace the miracle that is calling you right now. Click the link in the video description and comments below to turn on the ancient money wave and create the life you've always dreamed of today. You were never meant to carry your sorrow alone. Even in the moments when no one else could understand the ache you were holding, even when the world moved on while your heart stayed heavy, God never looked away. He stayed right beside you, even when you couldn't feel Him. He walked every step of the grief with you, not above you, not behind you, but beside you, matching your pace, holding your heart with hands that know pain and healing all at once. There's a reason this message found you in this exact moment. Heaven doesn't operate in accidents. It moves with purpose, with grace, with love that flows like a quiet river under the surface of your days. That quiet river has been leading you here, not to bring back what was lost, but to help you see that what was once taken is not truly gone. It lives on, not only in your memory, but in the heart of God, where no good thing is ever wasted or forgotten. The one you love who has passed into God's care wants you to know that love did not end the day they left. It only changed form. It moved from being held in hands and voices to being felt in spirit and light. You might feel them sometimes, on quiet evenings when everything settles, or when a song plays that carries a piece of them, or when the scent of something familiar drifts through the air with no reason at all. These are not coincidences. These are touches of grace. Their message to you is gentle, like the way they once spoke your name with care. They want you to keep living. Not just surviving, not just getting through the days, but truly living, with your heart open, your eyes lifted, your spirit willing to heal, even if slowly. They know it's not easy. They know how much you miss them. But they also know what's waiting for you when you choose hope again. They've seen it. And they want that beauty for you. They don't want their passing to be the end of your joy. They want it to become a bridge, a way for God's love to reach you in places it never could before. They want the pain to become a path that leads you back to yourself, to the light you still carry, and to the purpose you still have. You're not here by accident. You're not still breathing because life forgot about you. You're here because God is not finished with your story. Type 1212 if you believe God is guiding you. And your story, as painful as parts of it may be, is still beautiful. It's filled with chapters that only you can write, moments that will still make you smile, people who still need your love, and days that will surprise you with their goodness. Grief doesn't have to disappear for joy to return. They can exist together, hand in hand. One doesn't cancel the other. They simply shape you into someone deeper, kinder, and more compassionate. God uses everything. Even the hurt. Even the loss. Nothing is wasted in His hands. And in those same hands, your loved one now rests, peaceful, whole, and surrounded by the very love that created them. They're not asking you to let go. They're asking you to let God in. Into the cracks. Into the tears. Into the aching spaces where hope feels small and faith feels far away. Because that's exactly where Jesus does His most beautiful work. He meets us in the brokenness. He sits with us in the ashes. He walks with us through the long, hard nights. And when the time is right, He helps us stand again, not by demanding strength, but by offering His. He lifts us gently, slowly, lovingly. And He whispers into our weary hearts, "You are not alone." This moment right now, where you're still reading, still open, still listening, that's grace at work. That's heaven reaching down to hold you for just a little longer, reminding you that the veil is thin, and that love, real love, never dies. The one you lost is safe. You are not forgotten. And the God who made the stars still knows your name and is writing beauty into your life, even now, even here, even in the middle of all this. This is not a moment for fear or confusion. This is a holy pause, a gentle reaching out from heaven to remind you that something sacred is unfolding, even in your sorrow. God has not forgotten the prayers you whispered into the silence. He has not ignored the nights when sleep would not come, and tears fell without permission. He saw you then, and He sees you now, not from a distance, but from beside you, within the very center of your brokenness. The one who has gone ahead of you, who now walks among the gardens of heaven in the company of angels, has not lost their love for you. Love like that does not vanish when breath leaves the body. It simply finds new ways to reach you, through the quiet, through memories, through divine timing like this, where a message arrives and stirs something deep inside your heart. That stirring is not emptiness. It's connection. It's a reminder that nothing truly good is ever gone for good. You have not imagined those moments when you felt their presence. That sudden warmth that passes through your chest when you're thinking of them, the flicker of their name or voice in your mind for no clear reason, the way your heart softens without explanation, all of it is real. These are sacred echoes, not illusions. They are reminders that love does not follow the rules of this world. Love flows freely, between this life and the next, unbroken, eternal, and full of God's own breath. Type 888 to open doors of abundance. The person you lost wants you to feel that again, not just their love, but your own capacity to love and be loved. They see how you've carried the weight, how you've held on to strength even when you had none left to give, and how you've continued forward even while feeling like a piece of you is still standing in the past. And from the place of light where they now dwell, they are praying over you, not with words, but with presence. They are standing beside Archangel Michael now, their spirit strong, their voice calm, and their hope centered entirely in God. And what they want more than anything is not for you to forget, not for you to hide your grief, but for you to find peace, not the kind that erases your memories, but the kind that gives them room to breathe, to be remembered without pain, to be carried without burden. God knows the journey has been long. He knows the questions you never say aloud, the fears that surface in the night, and the way you sometimes wonder if you're doing any of this right. He knows the days that feel hollow, the ones where joy seems far away, and the ones where you manage a smile, but still feel empty inside. He sees it all, and he's not disappointed in you. He's not asking you to be perfect. He's only asking you to let him carry what you no longer can. An ancient 9-word code, once reserved for high-level insiders, has been uncovered. It's simple, quick, and shockingly effective at drawing money and blessings into your life. Neuroscientists confirm it stimulates the brain's receiving center, an area dormant in most people. People everywhere are calling it the 30-second miracle. Click the link in the description and comments before the authorities remove it again. There is healing, not because time makes it so, but because God does. Time might soften the edges, but only Jesus can fill the space that loss leaves behind. Only He can turn mourning into comfort, ashes into beauty, and silence into a song of hope. You don't have to understand it all. You don't even have to feel strong enough to ask. All you need to do is be open, just a little, even if your heart is tired, even if the tears are still fresh. The voice of your loved one is not lost in the wind. It is carried in the language of the soul, in the quiet ways God reaches you. They are not far. They are simply in a different light now, one that shines brighter than any sun, and in that light, they are still with you. Not as they were, but as they were always meant to be, whole, free, and radiant in God's love. You didn't stumble upon this message by mistake. Heaven has no accidents. Everything that led you here, every thought, every ache, every longing, was gently woven by the hand of God to bring you to this exact place, where something beautiful could unfold inside you again. Not to replace what was lost, not to take away your sorrow, but to remind you that the story isn't over. Not for you. Not for the one you miss. And certainly not for the love that still connects you both. Archangel Michael is not just delivering words. He is standing with strength and tenderness between heaven and earth, holding this message like a lantern in the dark, lighting your way with grace. The one you've lost is not gone in spirit. Their heart beats with God's joy now, but their love for you remains untouched, unchanged. In heaven, there is no forgetting. In heaven, there is only the full truth of love remembered perfectly and held forever. Type 1010 if you trust in God's timing. And that soul, your beloved, wants you to know this truth: you have not failed them. You have not disappointed them. You did enough. You were enough. Every single moment of kindness, every goodbye you struggled to say, every time you whispered their name after they were gone, it all mattered. Heaven remembers it all with a tenderness that only God can offer. Sometimes, the hardest part of grief isn't the sadness, it's the silence. The days that feel empty, the nights that stretch too long, the holidays that feel wrong without them. But in that silence, heaven is still speaking. You may not hear it as clearly as a voice, but it comes through in the way your chest tightens at unexpected moments, in the sudden tears that surprise you, in the way your spirit still knows how deeply you were connected. That is not your imagination. That is the Holy Spirit stirring within you, reminding you that love always leaves a light on. You may not know how to heal, and that's okay. Healing doesn't follow rules. It doesn't ask you to be strong all the time or to have the right words. It just asks for one thing, that you stay open to God's comfort. That you let Him meet you where you are, even if where you are is hurting. Jesus is not far from the broken-hearted. He draws closer in the pain. He sits beside you in the stillness. He listens when you can't speak. And He lifts you when you think you cannot take another step. Heaven is not some distant place hidden behind clouds. It is near. It is real. And the ones we've lost are not unreachable. They are in the presence of the one who loves you just as fiercely. That nearness is why you feel them sometimes. It's why you still catch glimpses of their essence in everyday things. A scent. A sound. A sudden moment of warmth. These are not just memories. They are reminders that heaven is closer than we think, and love is stronger than we understand. There is more for you, even if it's hard to believe right now. There is more peace to feel, more love to give, more life to live. And your loved one, from where they now stand in eternal light, wants you to step into that life, not with pressure or fear, but with a heart that is slowly learning to carry both sorrow and joy. They want your days to be full again, not in forgetting them, but in honoring them by continuing to live with kindness, with courage, with trust in God's goodness. You are still here for a reason. Your story is still being written. And the same God who held them in their final breath is holding you now in your next one. You are not walking this path alone, no matter how heavy it feels. The same arms that welcomed them home are wrapped around you still, steady and strong, guiding you through the fog, whispering gently, "You are loved. You are seen. You are not forgotten." Type 1414 to step into divine protection. Grief may have changed the way you move through the world. It may have softened your laughter, slowed your steps, and wrapped your days in a quiet kind of sorrow. But it did not take away your ability to feel, to love, or to connect. In fact, it deepened it. It widened your heart in ways you never asked for, but that now allow you to see things others might miss, the kindness in a stranger's eyes, the warmth of a gentle breeze, the way silence can sometimes feel holy. This message is not here to rush you. It is not asking you to leave anything behind. It is simply here to remind you that even now, even after all you've carried, God's hand is still on your life, and the person you lost is still connected to your soul, not by earthly presence, but by eternal love. That love is sacred. It is held in heaven. And it continues to flow between you both, steady and unseen, but always real. Archangel Michael, the one who protects and watches with a fierce, unshakable grace, is standing near you now. Not as a figure in the distance, but as a comfort in the present. His presence brings this message not to shake you, but to wake something within you, that quiet knowing that you are still loved, still remembered, still part of a plan far greater than the pain that tries to hold you down. The one who passed into heaven's arms wants you to know they are whole. Whatever sickness or suffering they once carried has been washed away. Whatever fear touched them in their final moments has been replaced by perfect peace. They are not lost. They are not far. They are alive in a way that can only be understood when the soul returns home to the one who created it. They see you. They love you. And they want your life to be filled with peace, not sorrow. It's okay if peace hasn't come yet. It doesn't arrive all at once. It comes slowly, like the tide, rising in quiet waves until one day you realize you can breathe again without pain filling every part of you. That doesn't mean you've forgotten. It doesn't mean you've moved on. It means God is healing the places where the wound was deepest, where the sadness sat the longest, and where your heart cried the most. Healing is not betrayal. It is not dishonor. It is not letting go of what mattered. It is grace. It is the process of becoming whole again, not in spite of what you lost, but because of how much you loved. And the one you loved wants that healing for you. They don't want you to live each day only surviving. They want you to live fully, beautifully, with hope in your chest and light in your eyes, because you still have so much to offer this world. Their voice may not come to you in words, but you will know it in other ways. In the way a quiet song moves you to tears. In the way a memory returns so vividly it makes you smile through your sadness. In the way you suddenly feel stronger, even if just for a moment, when you thought you had nothing left to give. These are whispers from eternity, carried on the breath of God, reminding you that death has not stolen the love you shared. Type 666 if you believe in God's grace. Jesus promised that life does not end in the grave. And in Him, that promise is true, not just for the one you've lost, but for you too. You are being carried, even now. Even through the questions. Even through the aching nights. Even when you wonder if you'll ever feel okay again. You are being carried by a love that will never let go of you. That love is not earned, and it cannot be broken. It simply is, and it is yours forever. So, take this part of the message gently into your day. Let it soften the sharp corners of your sadness. Let it breathe warmth into the cold places you've hidden away. Your journey is not over. And though it may feel lonely at times, you are never truly alone. Heaven is always near, and love is always stronger than anything that tries to silence it. A hidden 9-word prayer rediscovered in a sealed government document is now changing everything for those who dare to use it. It activates your brain's forgotten abundance channel, helping you manifest prosperity in ways you've never seen before. The results: cleared debts, growing savings, sudden opportunities, speak for themselves. Don't wait until this vanishes. Click the link before it's erased from the internet. This part of your story, the one shaped by loss, does not mean that love has ended. Love, real love, does not stop with a heartbeat. It does not vanish when hands are no longer there to hold. It moves deeper. It transforms. It becomes part of the soul's language, quietly present in the way you think, the way you hope, the way you still look for light in your darkest days. That's because God designed love to be eternal, just like the souls He creates. And the love you shared was always part of something eternal. You may not always feel strong, and that's okay. You don't have to. God doesn't need your strength, He offers His own instead. In your tiredness, in your ache, in the days when you can barely lift your heart, He is closer than you know. Sometimes we think faith must feel big and loud and full of fire, but often, it's quiet. It's gentle. It's that one breath you take when everything hurts, and yet somehow you still believe there is more to come. That breath is a prayer. That breath is enough. Archangel Michael has come not to frighten or warn in anger, but to bring the deepest comfort you've been quietly longing for. There is someone in heaven, someone you love beyond words, who has not stopped thinking of you. And through God's mercy, through the light that flows between heaven and earth, they are sending you the one thing you need most in this moment: peace. Not the kind of peace the world gives, the kind that comes and goes, but a peace rooted in knowing you are still loved from both heaven and earth. You are not being asked to stop missing them. You are not being asked to forget the moments that shaped your heart. You are simply being invited to believe, even gently, that they are not gone from your life. They are with God now, but still near. They walk with you in ways that cannot be seen but can always be felt. Their love did not end. It has simply been lifted into a higher place, a place where it continues to shine, waiting for the day you will meet again. That moment is not something to fear. Death, though it separates us for a time, is not the end. It is a doorway. And your loved one has walked through it, not into silence, but into life more beautiful than we can yet imagine. And in that beauty, they are whole. They are joyful. And they want that joy to reach you, even here, even now. Type 1919 to embrace healing. Their message is one of reassurance: you did not lose them. You lost the version of them that lived in this world, but you did not lose the soul, the connection, the unbreakable bond that was built in love. That bond still exists, and it still reaches across time and space, wrapping around you when you need it most. And when you sit quietly, when you whisper their name into the stillness, know that they hear you. Not with ears, but with spirit. Not with words, but with love. Jesus understands this pain. He stood at gravesides. He wept with those who mourned. He felt the sting of goodbye and the weight of absence. And yet, he rose, not just to conquer death for himself, but to offer that same victory to all who would follow him, including the one you lost. And because of that, you can be certain they are not lost. They are held. They are free. And they are more alive than ever. Let this part of your journey be shaped not only by grief but also by trust. Trust that healing will come. Trust that God is still writing beauty into your days. Trust that the love you carry is still holy, still sacred, and still a gift meant to be shared in new ways. You don't have to rush. You don't have to have all the answers. You only need to keep waking up, keep breathing, keep remembering that even now, you are deeply loved. This message comes to you wrapped in gentleness, because that is what your soul needs now, not more demands, not pressure to move faster, but kindness, softness, and the loving reminder that heaven is still watching over you. God has not looked away. He never has. And the one you miss, the soul whose absence left a silent space in your life, has not stopped loving you from where they now dwell, surrounded by light that never fades. Archangel Michael stands near with holy stillness, not because there is danger, but because there is meaning in this moment. A message is being carried across the distance between what was and what still is. Someone you love dearly, someone who left this world with part of your heart in their hands, has been waiting for just this moment to let you know, you are not forgotten. You are not alone. And the ache in your spirit is not unnoticed in heaven. They know how hard it's been. They see the days when you smile for others but feel empty inside. They know the nights when memories come so strongly it's hard to breathe. They remember the sound of your voice, the way you once reached for them, the laughter you shared, and even the moments of quiet comfort you thought were too small to matter. In eternity, nothing beautiful is ever lost. Every little detail of love is held forever in God's heart. What they want you to know now is simple, but it carries the weight of heaven. They are at peace, and they want you to feel that peace too. They don't expect you to be the same. They understand that grief changes people. It shapes the way we see the world, softens some places, hardens others. But through that change, they want you to remember who you still are, a soul capable of light, joy, kindness, and a future that holds beauty beyond the sorrow. They are with God now, in a place where pain cannot follow, where tears do not fall, and where love is the only language. And from that place, they are watching with warmth, hoping that you will let go of the guilt you may still carry, the words you didn't get to say, the fears that whisper in your quiet moments. They want you to let grace take their place, grace that says you did your best, grace that says your love was enough, grace that says healing is not forgetting, but honoring. Type 222 if you know God is with you. The ache you feel will not vanish overnight. It may never fully leave. But over time, God will teach your heart to carry it differently, not as a wound, but as a reminder of how deeply you loved. And through that love, He will shape something beautiful. Something eternal. Something that will continue to grow in you, long after the world expects your tears to end. What if everything you've been chasing, wealth, freedom, success, could be drawn to you automatically, simply by unlocking a secret brain wave hidden inside you? Once classified by intelligence agencies, this discovery is now available to the public, and it's changing lives instantly. Picture yourself debt-free, stress-free, and thriving. The window is open, but not forever, and every second you wait is wealth slipping from your hands, so grasp it now. Click the link in video description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency and watch abundance flow into your life today. It is okay if today still hurts. It is okay if some days you smile and others you fall apart. That does not make you weak. That makes you human. And God, in His deep compassion, understands the weight of sorrow. Jesus, who wept for His own friends, walks with you through your pain. He doesn't ask you to walk quickly. He simply stays beside you, one step at a time, until you are ready to stand taller again. You may not know what tomorrow holds, but you don't have to. God holds it for you. And in His hands are not just the days to come, but the love you lost, the prayers you've whispered, and the hope that still flickers in the corner of your heart. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is too broken. And nothing is too far gone for God to restore with love. Let yourself breathe more gently today. Let yourself remember without fear. Let yourself believe that love is still here, in the quiet moments, in the gentle nudges, in the words that arrive when you need them most. Heaven is not far. It is closer than you think. And the one you miss? They are closer too, not behind you, but beside you, walking with you still, waiting patiently for you to feel the peace they now live in. You didn't ask for this ache. You didn't choose this path. But even in the midst of loss, you have kept going, and that matters more than you realize. Every step you've taken, every breath you've drawn through the pain, every gentle choice to keep your heart open, it has all been seen by heaven, held in God's mercy, and surrounded by love that is still with you now. You have not been walking alone. Archangel Michael is here not to stir fear or uncertainty, but to open your heart just wide enough to feel what has been trying to reach you for so long. A message has traveled a long way, through time, through memory, through prayer, to find you. And it carries no judgment, no demand. Only love. The kind of love that doesn't fade when a person passes on, but instead grows deeper in the presence of God, then gently flows back to you like a soft river returning to the shore. That person you miss, the one who still fills your thoughts without warning, whose name still feels warm on your tongue, has never stopped being with you. Not in spirit. Not in love. Not in hope. They are not trapped in the past. They are with the Lord, and through His grace, they are with you too. Not in the way they once were, no, but in a way that still matters. In a way that still touches your life, still comforts your soul, still speaks to the deepest parts of who you are. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul. They have watched as you've faced each day without them. They know the strength it takes just to keep living when someone you love so much is no longer there to share your everyday life. And though they cannot undo the pain of their absence, they are reaching across eternity to remind you that you are not forgotten. You are still surrounded by their love, and you always will be. This message is not just a reminder of them. It is a promise. A promise that even though you've faced heartbreak, God is still writing something sacred through your pain. He does not ignore sorrow. He transforms it. Slowly, patiently, tenderly.